Brooklyn Barons. I'll talk to you again at halftime, but for the call of this one, let's send it out to our EA Sports broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, I'm going to break in here first. Oh, we got a snow game. Look at this playoff game in Brooklyn in the snow.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the
I'm going to cover some things here in a minute.
Divisional round Saturday. We've got an AFC battle on tap
Snow.
between the Houston Oilers and the Brooklyn Barons.
Now, both these teams
everyone.
won their division.
Season continues here on EA Sports. We're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon
Both
Gaudin.
10 and 6.
Who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit.
Marcus Mariota.
But that team that's coming in off of a win last week.
Okay, so we'll cover some things now that they shut up. So, here's the set. Both teams 10 and 6. Houston's coming in off the wild card win last week against St. Louis, 29-26. I'm sorry, wrong team. The Lumberjacks. They beat them 31-6. Barons had a bye because they won their division. They were the number 2 seed, but they lost 4 of their last 5 games. So they're coming in struggling, where Houston won their last 7 games. So Houston's definitely got some momentum going on. And they also got Marcus Mariota, who, believe it or not, is really, really good. So that's just the way this Madden game goes sometimes. So that being said, they got really good wide receivers on Houston's side. Both teams have, the Barons have Le'Veon Bell. So he's pretty solid. And they got a very good secondary, so they got to watch out for the secondary because they can cover. They got 2 of the best safeties in the game, and that's really what keeps them in the game. And they also create a lot of turnovers. The first time these 2 teams played, Houston had 7 turnovers. So, and their quarterback is Sam Darnold. He's decent, not spectacular, but he's got some weapons. So that's another thing you got to look out for. So this is my pregame analysis. So we're going to do a pick here, and I'm going to say go with Houston winning this game. They're on a roll, so they will be in the AFC Championship game next week is my prediction.
The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend of the NFL is underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native, Oregon Duck product. Of course, that's Marcus Mariota.
And he's definitely a defensive coordinator and a defense's nightmare because his 4.5 speed allows him to break out of a pocket and hurt a team with his legs running downfield. But he really keeps his eyes downfield and wants to throw the football first. Puts a defense in a heck of a spot. Do you go after it or do you fall back? Either way, he wins.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
Second down, Mariota. Throw right side, caught by Davis. Just 3 catches in the wild card victory for him a week ago, and now he's got his first here, and it's good for a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Wide open receiver complete. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They go play action. Mariota. It's caught by Davis. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
So that'll bump it back to a 1st and 15. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They'll throw again. Mariota. He will find Davis on the left side complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And room there to work it inside the 25. They get 8 yards back there, and they could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
I love how he exploded on the national scene his redshirt freshman year when, at the beginning of the season, he was not named the starting quarterback. But when USC was struggling, he got an opportunity. And by the end of the year, the Rose Bowl MVP, an epic shootout with Penn State, and put him on the NFL radar in a big way.
Darnold on 1st down. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And here is a look at the offense's starting unit.
To play running back in today's NFL, you need to be versatile, and that really defines Le'Veon Bell because if you hand it to him, he won't turn it down. 321 carries in 2017. And if you want to throw it to him, well, they targeted him 106 times last season as well, which was 2nd in running backs, only to Christian McCaffrey.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Mariota now. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, The quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Play fake. Mariota. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Mariota. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
A Hall of Fame coach once said there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or two. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, Smallwood. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. Now, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7.
7.
I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And now out comes Houston. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Mariota now on 2nd down. And Davis with it left side. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
3rd and short yardage. Mariota. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And now back out comes the offense. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
All praise to the defense there, stuffing them on the run. But offenses always practice these types of situations. They're called coming out situations from the shadow of their own goal line. What you really want is your offensive line to win the battle at the line of scrimmage. Get the leverage, get below the defensive lineman, and move them off the ball so the runner can find some space. On that particular play, none of that happened.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
And he'll get this only up to about the 3. Oh, had to get it out quickly, but and he will score. It's a touchdown. In for the score. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
But they didn't have their normal cushion there in order to punt the ball away. It leads to a lot of anxiety for the team kicking the football.
But for the punter, you know that you've got to get rid of that quickly there. Not quick enough.
And also, not stepping behind you and stepping over the end line for a safety. That one gets blocked, and it's 6 points.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. We have...
All right, quickly recap that 1st quarter. Houston looks pretty dominant, as I had said earlier. 13-0, block punt in the end zone, kind of helped. Defense looking great. Now the weather does appear to be a factor, so maybe the Jets, Brooklyn will have an opportunity in the second half. That's where we're at.
Here we go now. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Darnold from the gun. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. On first down, it's Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards to the 16 and a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Here's Darnold. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now Darnold. That's complete right around the 8. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it, now the confidence is...
And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now 13-7. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now Corey Davis and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Smallwood as they begin on the ground. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now a second down throw for Mariota. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On 3rd down, Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sag.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A first down throw, Darnold. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 6 there on first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Let's go! 3-19!
To throw on second down is Darnold. Pushing his way through. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead going to an opposite color jersey.
This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Found his target, it's Anderson. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Now let's go! Blue landed!
Throwing again is Darnold. And he fires one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Set! Blue landed! Blue
Now
landed!
flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Le'Veon Bell taking it in from 4 yards out. And his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead. And he's able to put it through. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And now out comes Houston, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Handoff comes to Smallwood. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
You have to control the guy playing over the nose in order to run the ball up the middle against a 3-4, and they did that very well on that play. And that hurts the linebackers, because what they're counting on, especially the guys in the middle, is that nose taking on 2, sometimes 3 blockers, eating those guys up and allowing the linebackers to run free and make a play. But when they control the nose, it allows other guys to get upfield to that second level and block the linebackers, and now the running back's got some room to roam.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Now Mariota, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And Hauschka's kick is good. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Here's Darnold, and that is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now it's Darnold. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a third down. To the air again, Darnold. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going.
Set. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Escaping the pressure right. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Here's Darnold now on second down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Back to throw, Darnold. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round games in the AFC. And it looks like a good one, as it's going to be one heck of a battle, that's for sure. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got one half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach.
Okay, halftime. Second quarter was definitely much better for Brooklyn. They should have had those at least 3 points on that last drive and be leading the 17-16, but that's Madden. What can you do? They made a mistake there. Should have kicked the field goal. But they did score 14 points going with the wind, and you see the weather is having an effect. Houston was able to bounce back after that and take the lead at 16-14. So it's where we're at right now. Look out for Le'Veon Bell. He seemed like he was heating up a little bit. But Smallwood, been a big acquisition for Houston. That was a late pickup in the late season. And he's done a remarkable job, actually. So that's where we are.
Thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daquan Jones forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And absolutely zero surprise that that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And this offense on third down today, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Mariota. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. Mariota now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. They run the counter. Smallwood. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Darren Lee there to get him down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They start the drive with Smallwood. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he gets it down to the 32. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. 2nd down, Mariota. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Anunwa's got it, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
3rd and 2, Darnold hauled in by Anderson left side. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Here we go now.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Let's go. 3-19.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. First down, a run with Smallwood. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's set.
All right, so after 3, Houston 23, Brooklyn 14. That third period was kind of a disaster for Brooklyn because they had the wind, and they didn't manage to score any points. Now, Houston put together a beautiful drive. You saw that 29-yard run by Mariota, and then the touchdown reception by I can't remember the guy's name. Not getting that 3 points sure is looming large right now for Brooklyn. So this is going to be tough for them going against the wind. And, they're going to have to get Le'Veon Bell the ball or something.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
Let's take it inside his own 40. So possession goes over here on the punt. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
15 yards through the air on a first down.
I know it looks like fun to guys like you and me. We're up here in the booth and everyone watching on television, but are you kidding me?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Following the interception here, Mariota. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And they'll go on the ground. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They give to Smallwood. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Tyler Higbee, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. If you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in a 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead.
Let's talk about the strategy that Houston just did. Okay, going up 31-14 probably put this game away because they made it a 3-score game instead of a 2-score game, and pretty much they might just punch their ticket to the championship game. It was quite a call, and 3rd and goal. The hits Higbee. Higbee has just been really good this year. He's got over 100 and something receptions, best tight end in the league. So back to the game.
Into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. And here now the offense heading back out there. And several days ago, you and I talked with a couple of guys in the meetings about how big is home field advantage. And they kind of downplayed it a bit, but I think we're seeing here today, building up this lead, looks like they're going to win. Why home field advantage in the divisional round so important?
Yeah, they may have downplayed it, but we could also sense that it was important to them because nothing has to change. You don't have to uproot anything. Sometimes when you're going on the road, you may have to even leave earlier in order to get acclimated if it's going to be a tough environment against the team you're going to play. So being at home was a big deal. But now they know, at least they feel like it, they're moving on to the championship round. There's got to be no better feeling. They'll get that 24-hour rule in. Enjoy that before they look forward to the next opponent.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 45. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
A dump off to Smallwood. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be a second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. A run with Smallwood, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Third down, it's Wendell Smallwood. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
3-19.
To throw on second down is Darnold. Going up top. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football, and the defense has come up with it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Mariota from the gun on third down. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Well, one side moves on, and then, of course, there's the other side, and now they face what they don't want to face, and that's the offseason.
Think about the journey just getting to this game. Preseason, right? OTAs and mini camps before that. Going through the regular season, fighting and scratching and clawing to make it to the playoffs. And then to get to this game, 1 game short of a conference championship, they'll have the whole offseason to think about it. Let's see if they use it as motivation.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.
Game, 5 turnovers by Brooklyn, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles. Now, last time they played, it was 7 turnovers by the Oilers. They only lost by 7 points. So this was pretty impressive. And if you look at the player stats here, 3 picks. Mariota, he was pretty good, 19 for 30, 2 touchdowns. And pretty much that's how it's been. They got a balanced running game ever since their starter went down. They got Smallwood. He had 64 yards, and Guyan, the rookie, had 60. So it was very balanced there. Mariota had a big run for 29 yards. What was a close game turned into a rout. Corey Davis, 7 receptions, 103 yards. That's why he's an All-Pro. 3rd year for Brooklyn. Nunwa Anderson had good games, but they just couldn't keep it up. Higbee had 51 yards and 4 and a touchdown. And McGilly, he's another young guy, experienced 1 year for Brooklyn. He had a good game. Let's see here. The interception by who was it? Not Henry. Brown, Henry. That wasn't him who did it. Where is he? There he is. Kevin Byard. Now, Byard had a 103-yard return last week. So, the Oilers will be moving on to the championship game of the AFC. They're going to face either Sacramento or their division rival, who beat them twice this year, San Antonio Marshals. And if it's San Antonio can beat Sacramento, then they're going to be playing in Houston. We'll see how that goes. But Brooklyn's season is over. It was a tale of 2 seasons. They had got off to a great start, couldn't maintain it, and as you see, the young quarterback just came up small. So our second game, finish.